I'm Johnny Lieberman, and you're watching LMP. What does LMP stand for?
Late Night Play
Oh,
Set.
yeah, that's right. I've been on there. Yeah, good show. You should like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
You trimmed your beard. You look great. And he did a shave. Everybody looks great. What's up, you guys? Kurt must be here. This is amazing. It's so beautiful. Hi, what's up, dude? What's up, Gus? Tommy. Hey, how are you? Good. It's good to see you guys. Good morning. Not quite. So close.
So close.
Ah, but here it comes. Oh my gosh, this is like... Do you feel... Hey, there's the hit. Oh, he's only 2. But see how there's a double there? There was one that was 3. Looked like a hidden Mickey. Oh, there's a lot of doubles today. Ooh, time to change the bubble. It's time to change the best bubble fluid in the world. Oh, catch up with everybody. Hi. Oh gosh, you guys didn't see the bubble. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, there are plenty. There are plenty of bubbles. Oh, wow. Well, we're back. We made it. We're back. There's a few bubbles in here that I've noticed lately. I've just been kind of hanging around. I don't know how they somehow are lighter than... Whoa! Did you see that? Wow. That's crazy. I wish I had a tighter camera on that. Goodness gracious. Okay, well... Excuse me. Welcome back to the show. Tonight is Thursday, October 5th, 2021. My name is Jay Ryan. The lady to my right here is Nicole Ryan. We are the Ryans. We are married. Hands off, fellas. This is mine. And I'm hers, ladies. So you just knock it off. Knock it off. Carissable, now you stop that. No, just kidding. What's up? Hello, Carissable. Hello, A. Siegel. Hello, Triple Caution. Triple. ND98 2K. That Raiden Motors intro cracks me up every time. Me also, Tom. I'm glad you appreciate it. Oh, gosh. Trevor Ryan is here. Hello. Franco European Auto Sports Cars. Let's bring everybody in here. And let's see, DBS 993, hello. Fight on Blaster, hello. Beverly Whedon, hello. Tahoe, Blue Flame Pete McNulty, and a bunch more. I'm at the Y in Wilton playing paddle tennis tonight. How cool. The Y in Wilton is directly across the street from the high school and said television show where I started this 30 years ago. No, started this story however many years ago. 20-something. Over 20. Oh, man, that's so crazy. All right, well, let's get down here. She's mine. Hello, guys. Much love. Hilarious. Yeah, I know. I'm so not that guy, too. Also, I don't really think I have anything to worry about. But I'll tell you, a lot of people tune in just for you. So, yeah, I probably do have some stuff to worry about. Also, there's probably a whole bunch of freaks that are into this stuff, you know?
Totally.
Whatever ails you, there's somebody else who is into it.
It's a whole new audience. I get girls that want you all the time. So it's
Oh,
totally
well.
fair.
Oh, yeah. Well, they must not know the real me.
You're an attractive guy to a lot of people.
I'll take it. You're attractive to everybody. So there's that. Men, women, doesn't matter. They all like you. H. Diggity joined. The LA Source joined. Beeman Bill joined. Jamie Jammin' Jim. Jammin' Jim is jamming. Could be Yamin Yim. We don't know. Could be Soft J's. Just like me. A Soft J. Oh, I would like to be referred to as Yay from now on. When you see me in person, just, hi, Yay. We had a friend who used to call me that. Actually, the friend who we met through called me Yay from, I guess we started that joke pretty much immediately because I think I said it to her as a joke, like Soft J. Collie at Everybody Hates Chris. Yeah.
Yeah. She's on her last semester. I just saw a photo.
She went back to school to become a psychologist?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very cool. Shout out to Collie. How's that? And that's where Ye came from. The Soft J. Eduardo Charles Bernard. Hello. Janish C is here. Hello. Jaish C. Jaish. There is no N. I don't know why my eyes saw one. Did you see when Danny was here the other day? He mentioned that it was harder to see in here as well.
I did.
Okay, good. Makes me feel a tiny bit better. Did I say that it's Tradecraft Tuesday and that I have some Pineapple Express to fire up here with the missus?
Not yet. But I'm really excited.
Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I'm Jay. This is Nicole. We are the Ryans. We will be your hosts. We are here live at 5 or close to it every Tuesday and Thursday here from the Late Night Playset. And if you're unfamiliar with what that is, it's the original David Letterman set that we have in our house, and now that Seinfeld's back on Netflix, may as well talk about it. And we are doing the Merv Griffin set episode of that whole thing. Pineapple Express hybrid from our friends and neighbors across the street there at Sticky Vape and Tradecraft Farms. There you are.
Thanks,
Fired
guys.
up a brand new one. Pineapple Express. That might be due for another watch. I know that we always like it, and then after we watch it, we're like, yeah, it was great. I just don't need to see it again for a while. But it's been a long-ass while.
I feel like I would like it more. Every time I like it more.
Especially if I have a little bit of the real stuff with you, you know? Everything becomes a little funnier. Oh, my goodness. Hey, I might be out of the loop here, but I haven't seen Yellow Car or the 944 at the Country Mart recently. Something happen? I mean, no. I mean, yeah, but I'll never talk about it again. Drama. You know, sometimes in life there is drama, and you get to choose how you deal with it. And I thought I was doing something good. I thought I was dealing with it in a way that was very adult. I thought I was handling whatever had happened in an adult way. And the other side of things saw it as the complete opposite. So it was like all I did was throw gasoline on a fire, whatever the heck. So, no, I mean, it's weird. We were accused of something we didn't do, and I have so many text messages from the other person who works there that, like, absolves us of everything, like, totally 100% proves our innocence. But, like, what the hell? Why would you want to go deal with all that again? So, yeah, something happened. Something happened. I don't think we'll never be back. I mean, I hope to be back at some point, but, like, you know how sometimes it's just best to kind of just take care of you. Do your own thing. So we've been doing our own thing. And quite frankly, the timing couldn't have been better because, like, Yellow Car has been in the shop for 3 weeks, and then we're going to talk about this weekend. My God, is our freaking life an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's lots of reasons. But not because of anybody that goes there. We love everybody that goes there. You know, not just the famous faces that everybody knows. I mean, we used to see a lot of friends there that we didn't see elsewhere. So, you know, maybe we'll be back. Maybe there'll be a new place. Who knows? There was some talk about reinvigorating Trancas. TLG and I were talking about that. A few other people. So who the hell knows? I mean, that's life. It is what it is. But you don't want to go to a party where you're not really wanted. You know what I mean? Like, there's that too. It's weird. So it was weird because that was our thing for like 7 or 8 years, way before
Really
it became
long
the
time.
Malibu Cars and Coffee. In fact, there were several other Malibu Cars and Coffees that weren't where this one was. Whatever. Life drama. We don't have room for the end of all of that is we don't have room for. We have our own drama in life. She can't walk, and with that comes so much other stuff that people don't think about, and we're dealing with that. So whenever there's kind of like exterior drama, we tend to when you zig, we zag. And that I think is maybe good advice for everybody. If you're the type that gets caught up in the drama, you don't have to. Is maybe my only advice there. My only unsolicited, my only unasked for, untwo-sensed 2 cents. This weekend is a car show at the Yanks Air Museum in Chino, hosted by Cars in the Canyon. I know. We thought we were going to be at the St. Clair booth for that, and he's driving his own car out, so he didn't need it. Also, they were like full. Whatever this one is, it's not like previous years where you can just drive up and wait in line and pay your ticket and whatever. This is like limited space or something. So, yes, it's definitely happening. Sadly, we won't be there. Beyond that, our friends up north are doing an amazing thing. Let's see, it's shades of, what the hell is it called? You guys know what it's called. Rare Shades is what it's called. But Pete Stout from 000. Remember the thing we went to last year? It was down here 2 years ago, before COVID, I guess 2 years ago. But it was super hot, and we had to leave the moment we got there. We were like, guys, you said museum. We just assumed air conditioning. It was like
so
96
hot
degrees.
humid, and
Your face melted the moment we turned the air conditioning off when we got there. So they're doing one of those this weekend as well up north at Skywalker Ranch, which is very cool.
Ooh.
At Lucas Films.
that's cool.
Very, very cool. So that's happening as well. And then also, I'll tell you, we are going to tell you what happened this weekend and the status of Yellow Car and everything else in a few minutes. But in doing all that stuff, apparently the PCA San Gabriel Valley region is also having a thing over at Chevy Chase Park on the 9th as well, Saturday, 8 to 10. And we have committed to be there. So we'll be over there. They invited us. Our friend Jose. Oh, do we want to talk about the weekend? I guess we have to. I'm dreading it. I just don't want to.
I can see,
Wah!
I can see it on you.
Well, do you remember where we were with our friends last week? It was so the opposite of how it is today. It was like, we just got Yellow Car. I was so excited to even get through the show. I didn't even prepare a show. Remember, I didn't even have a card for poor Michael, who was a very awesome guest, by the way. Go check his show out, Keys to the Jungle. Check out his Instagram. But we were so excited. I had just driven Yellow Car back from TLG to our garage and ran up took the elevator, but, came upstairs and did this show. And then I went down afterwards and I cleaned the wheels and ended up cleaning the whole thing because I think it's been a few days outside at TLG towards the end as well. So I was like, I cleaned the whole thing in the garage. That's right. I cleaned the car. That's why it was shiny. Is everyone happy? Okay. Only until Dom from Awesome Dom from Breakfast Club. I don't remember what Dom's garage might be actually his thing, come to think of it. He's going to do some stuff with it after a little bit. I'm rambling. Yeah, I know. Sorry. How are you doing?
Not good.
Physically not good.
Physically not good.
Emotionally and facially, like physically and well, I don't know how to describe it. Aesthetic? What would you call just this section here? Your 3/4 is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Your sparkle is in your eyes. I mean, they can see it.
Thanks, guys. I think when I don't focus on that, it is relaxed and that happens. So,
So I shouldn't bring it up.
no, it'll remind me to not be uptight.
Well, maybe we could all use that advice then. That's fantastic. Keep up the fun. All right, here we go. Miss you guys. Ollie is sitting with me and says hello. Oh, Portia's Andrew. That is so awesome. Thank you. I'm happy that you're with Ollie and not working right now. You work a lot and very hard. It's Andrew Florin, if anybody doesn't know. Portia is over there. So when we left you last week, it was like we were on cloud 9. I was on cloud 9. She was tradecrafting, but I was like just so stinking excited for the next morning because it was like Christmas. It was like Christmas Eve, and I knew what I was getting, you know? We were going to get at that awesome ride up at Breakfast Club. What could go wrong? Well, that is the wrong attitude because simply I forgot my own advice. It was like, I'll tell you what happened, but whatever it was, I forgot that, like, oh, yeah, you have to be careful, like, 110% of the time. I almost did Lou Ferrigno there, but that's not a politically correct impression to go into these days. You sound like you're, it doesn't matter. We've actually met Lou Ferrigno, and it doesn't matter. I wasn't trying to start anything. Anyway, I'm so sorry, everybody. My head's scrambled. Here's what happened. Friday morning, everything went perfectly. I mean perfectly. I mean so perfectly. The getting stuff together before we left the house went perfectly. We both were ready at the same time to get to leave at the desired time. All of the stuff went so swimmingly well. No traffic on the highway over to Dunkin' Donuts. No line at Dunkin' Donuts, which hasn't happened in months. Then the gas station was a piece of cake. That is sometimes not a piece of cake, and it was a piece of cake. And then getting back up to the 2 to go to Angela's Crest, everything was just stinking perfect. Now that I come think about it, there was that one. There was a 992 we were behind, and I didn't necessarily care for the way he was driving. Just I'm being a little bit judgmental, not how it affected me, but he was like riding up a regular person's, you know, like no way to make friends on the Crest that way. That to me is not respecting the Crest. Yeah, your car's faster. Yeah, they're not pulling over, but like that whole thing and then riding too. Anyway, so because of that, we didn't want to follow it. We didn't want to follow it any further. I don't understand the mentality. It's like, if you've got that mentality, find a place to go around or don't. Whatever.
Tailgating's not good anywhere, let alone the Crest.
Oh, it was just like road ragey type of behavior, you know? And we're all guilty of it sometimes. There's no judgment on the guy. It was just like, we saw this and we were like, this is not part of our happy jam. The car is amazing. Everything is perfect. It sounds good. It feels good.
Felt really good.
Everything is just perfect. So because of that guy, still whatever, we take a left onto Angela's Forest, you know, to go the long way down and come up 9 Mile. And I don't know, halfway down or so, I don't know what happened. I mean, I know what happened now, but telling the story back in real time, we're just driving around and loudest noise ever. The car went over something. I thought we hit a tree. I go, how did I not see a tree? Like, why did we have to go over? What the hell? Was it a body?
It was so loud, and I just felt such, like, I'm with you.
It was the type of thing where there was the big loud boom, 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 but then there was also like the pieces, whatever the sound of pieces of like trailing bits and pieces. We expected to have no headlight. I thought we hit a deer like Joe had a week or two earlier. Joe Serenity hit a deer with awesome Serenity, the Cayman R. And the front, you know, lost the headlight and all that stuff. And it came out of nowhere. I mean, you can see in his dash cam, you never really even get to see the deer. It's not there. He hits it before you would have seen it. And I thought it was one of those things. This is all happening immediately. As we, whatever the hell, I turn to her and I go, it's all happening. I was able to maintain control and stuff. But I go, I didn't see it. I don't know, whatever. And I looked up, and in the mirror, you could see the rock debris. And I mean, a lot of rock debris. It was moving still at that point. Whatever we saw in the video after was less than whatever was there, because some of it spun off the road. Probably after being hit by us. I think the piece we hit, I don't know how it could even been the big piece that was there. It felt like a bowling ball, but neither here nor there. Whatever it was, boom, 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 hit her. I didn't see it. I look up. I see all the rocks. The moment I'm back focused on the road now, we're obviously slowing down. I see David Heenan, the guy who brings the table every week. He's got the 991 Carrera, 991 Carrera, whatever. 991, 911. Cabriolet. That's what I wanted to say. Cabriolet. Woo! So you all know him. He's there every week. He brings the table that we put the donuts on. He's doing this, and I go, oh shit, he was just trying to save us, and we missed it. And he saw the rocks and whatever. He was pulled over because he had hit a series of rocks as well. I don't know. I'm a guy who reads surface. I read the road surface like a lot, like it's part of my thing, and I don't never not do it. So I was doing it, and I didn't see whatever we hit. The only thing we can figure, and there's no way to prove any of this, but like the only thing we can figure is that either falling or moving rocks, because there were a lot of them this particular day, and they were in places at different times. Like they weren't some here earlier, and they were later, and the ones that were here earlier were cleaned up by later. You know what I mean? Like Caltrans was doing their work, but the mountain was moving.
Right.
Apparently, I really needed to get this out, everybody. You are my therapy. Thank you so much. Glad you guys are safe, says Apex Dream Cars. Thank you. Yeah, that's the most important thing. But, so anyway, so we pulled over behind the cabriolet. and David, what was it? What was it? I was like, rocks, big rocks, jagged rocks, all sorts of crazy rocks. And he looked, and it was his front tire, and I got out and looked, and I saw that, yes, the tire was flat, but also the rim was cracked. I could see the cracked rim, and I was like, well, ain't nothing happening on this. We've had flat tires before from hitting small, regular rocks, not boulders. But anyway, we have successfully driven out of the crest before. We've done it. It's not something you want to do. I don't recommend it to anybody, but it can be done. And in fact, the first time we drove out on a wheel, the wheel wasn't broken, only the tire was. So we drove out with the rubber on the wheel without ever losing the bead. It's hard to describe, but we were really, really successful the first time. So we thought, let's do it. Let's do it again. So, and by the way, I should mention to anybody who's never been there was zero cell reception. You're going to have to wait for somebody to come by, which will happen, but then they have to get out of this place 40 minutes in either direction. It's a whole thing, which is, again, why we drive out. The crest sounds very intimidating. That video you posted the other day was horrific. We'll talk about that, too. Great call. Yeah. Good call, Carissable. It is. That's why our thing is respect the crest. It's not like I'm the police of the damn thing. It's just that we've had friends have issues. We've had experienced people have issues. I'm freaking experienced. I just had an issue. Johnny Lieberman. I don't know anybody more experienced than him. He hit a deer the other day, and he's hit rocks before too. Shit happens. It's a moving mountain, and it's it's hard to describe, but when it wants to bite you, it will. It's crazy. So where was I with all that? So because we've done this before, we tell David, all right, he's not going to drive out in this cabriolet because it's an intimidating thought even. I said, he really was very confused with like, all right, what's happening? All right, so he was looking at his phone going, all right, so what do I do? AAA? And I was like, you don't have any service. Good luck. We're driving out, and I will find somebody, or I will call from the bottom. And we had just seen a Caltrans truck like 2 turns back, so I was hoping that was somebody like in it that we could go talk to or whatever. So I literally made a U-turn, and we slowly drove out. Maybe you should get a rally car. Yeah, totally. Well, that's the thing. We drive this one like it's a rally car. It's set up like one, and we treat it like one, and we proved it the other day. So driving out of the crest doesn't just mean driving to cell phone signal for us. For us, it means we're going to do exactly what we did last time that worked, which was drive to our friends. Hello, Car Bibles. Great to see you. To drive to see our friends at Scientific, which is a Porsche repair automotive shop in Pasadena. It's not TLG, but if I went to TLG, they don't have tire service. TLG, they build motors and you know what I mean. It's a different thing. So we needed to either get to like America's Tire or Goodyear or one of those joints, Ron's Tire, whatever. So we go to our friends at Scientific after driving. I don't know. How was the ride for you? Just
tense.
How was it compared to the previous time? because we were alone this time. Remember last time we were following somebody else, or they were following us, or whatever. But
I was
we had a
more
buddy.
confident this time, ironically. Like, we'd
I
been
was
through
too.
it before.
Yeah, I think that's why we did everything so quickly.
Agreed.
So we drove on this broken, dented, cracked rim that basically we're driving like that. How's it going? Hey, all right. We wrecked it. I mean, this amazing, great, awesome, brand new suspension. We didn't even get a chance to open it up yet. I told her, I go, once we get to 9 Mile, I'll see what it's all about. We didn't even get there. So we're wearing our shirts today for the people that have helped us out because we are so lost already. TLG over here, Auto Kennel over here. Beside myself with this damn story and this poor car. This poor car has been through too much lately. Too much.
Yeah.
Let alone us. So we drive the damn thing out and wibble wobble. We get to Scientific, and luckily our friend who helped us last time was there, Jose. And they get the same black wheel. They put it on other side this time. All good. Send us on our way. It was before 10 o'clock. It was before 10 o'clock. So I said, do you want to go to Breakfast Club? Oh, I forgot there was a stop in the middle there. I got all confused. I got emotional. I'm so sorry. So when we left David originally, 2 turns later was the Caltrans guy. So I pulled over to him to go talk to him and say, hey, bunch of rocks for one. Sorry, but bunch of rocks. And our friend over there is going to stay. We're driving out on our broken car, but his broken car is staying. And if you could wait with him, that would be really, really great. And if you could call it in, like that would be really, really great. He was like, no problem, all good. He started backing the truck out. He was going to go down. He's like, where is it? I was like 2 turns. You can't miss him. At the same time, the guy whose name I don't really remember his real name, but Europa Jewelers, he stops with his Interlagos M3, E92 M3, and we gave him the donuts and the coffee. We did the handoff. And he was like, oh, is everything okay? I was like, no, we've really fucked it up, and we're already going, so I don't want to chat. We're out of here. So he took the donuts and coffee up. The sad part of this story is that guy hit rocks on the way down and had the same thing happen. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No good deed, right? No good deed.
Man.
So I said, now that we know David is taken care of, now we're only worried about us. All right, now we do the pasty and the whole thing. Get the wheel on the car. Let's go to Breakfast Club. Holy shit. Now we take the front way up because I'm going slow, taking it easy. The car is still way better than it was before, but it was not what it was an hour earlier, 2 hours earlier. But I didn't know if that was because now I've got the wheel is the right size, but now the tires are mismatched, they're misbranded, they're mistreaded, everything, they're misaged. All our tires are brand new from Michelin. This one is like 10 years old from Bridgestone or whatever. It's great for a loaner wheel. It's all you need for a spare tire. But I couldn't tell what we had damaged and what was... I didn't know. I couldn't tell. So... and we knew we needed to get a wheel. So what the hell happened? So we get up to Breakfast Club. Oh, that was actually pretty cool. Thank you to everybody at Breakfast Club for being there for that.
That was awesome.
When we finally got up there at 10:30 or whatever, Eden and folks, hello, Skip Ploss. One Vintage, the Crest sure is a tire killer. Yeah, SoCal Cars and Stuff. SoCal Cars and Stuff. Rick Bowen, hello, everybody. Wave. So we're coming up, and there's a big crowd of people still there, and the Senna had just left. We passed the Senna on the way. We just missed it. Magnus was still there and everything. But the group of cars, I don't know. Maybe I don't arrive when it's all the people. Maybe it's like this for everybody. But it felt like a triumphant victory. It felt like, oh, we made it to the rally stage. Holy cow, they got to the top. The one black wheel is showing on the front. It looked like Herbie the Love Bug when he's finally getting to the finish, an hour and a half later than he's supposed to or whatever. And everybody was like, like there was a little bit of applause and like people were really excited. And I don't know what I'm trying to say other than it felt really good. It felt really good for us.
Yeah.
And thank you. It was not easy. It was a shitty effing morning. It so sucked. All right, so what's happened since? Well, we didn't want to further any potential damage or whatever until we found a wheel. Luckily, thanks to our friends at Michelin USA, we had a tire. Thank you, friends at Michelin USA. We had a tire. Ironically, by the way, at the end of that, the rim was looks like Pac-Man, and then it's cracked as well. The tire, I think the tire is fine. I wouldn't put it back on the car because we drove on it, which, you know what I mean, kind of screws up the integrity of the sidewall. But like, it's a good spare tire. Like, you know what I mean? The tire is fine. It didn't rupture. It just popped the bead when we broke and dented the rim by hitting the curb-sized boulder. But we knew we needed a new wheel. So all week we cruised everything. Craigslist, reached out to LA Dismantler, reached out to Wheel Enhancement, reached out to everybody, and ended up having to find one on Craigslist. And it was down in San Juan, conveniently located in San Juan Capistrano, which, if you're not from the LA area, is not LA area, really. It's actually quite South OC. It's almost San Diego County, if it's not. But we were happy to make the drive yesterday. We drove down yesterday in yellow car on the black wheel with the tire in the back, thinking, all right, we'll just get this mounted down here someplace. I said, what's the seller's tire place? And he was like, I go to America's Tire. Now, America's Tire won't work on our car because of the studs instead of the lugs, whatever. So I was like, well, whatever. So I plugged back in Scientific, and I was like, well, let's go give them their wheel back. At the very least, I know there's an America's Tire in Glendale we can go to, you know. But whatever. So 2-hour drive each direction to get back to Scientific and put the nice new silver wheel on and the new Michelin tires. So I've done what I can do. While we were there, I happened to take a look underneath. I think a lot of the noise and the clatter and the parts we expected to be missing from the outside are missing from the underside because, and I don't mean like metal bits and everything. Although it looks awful. The underneath of these cars, for anybody at home who doesn't know, is all plastic covered. It's got all this plastic sheathing, like there's many sections of it, almost like an aircraft or like a race car. It has all this sheathing, and that's what helps with the aerodynamics and everything else. Well, ours is probably old anyway, so the plastic is probably brittle. It is riddled with holes. It looks like the Titanic under there. It's just gaping gaps and rigid, jagged. I have a feeling whatever we heard of the clickle-clackle of all this stuff, the debris, was probably all of that. Oh, yeah. Which is good, yeah. and rocks breaking up and everything doing it all. And if it was all that just clanking off the new suspension, then maybe we have the new wheel and we fix the aero and maybe we're good. I don't know. The end of this story is the car is going back to TLG on Thursday to have a look-see. It's so disheartening, everybody. It's so disheartening. And I swear it's not like this is a true story. Everything I told you is true, but like I'm letting you in on the inside of the personal life here. I asked her like off the record later at night. I go, listen, you can tell me. I don't care. Did you see it? And I meant it because I was like, if she saw it and I didn't, I spaced out. I was enjoying I was caught up in the drive, like whatever. There would be so many reasons why. I wasn't present. But I felt present when it happened, and I still didn't see it. And the fact that she didn't, and
I just heard it and felt it. I never saw anything.
And you weren't like looking down or anything like that. No, it was our usual thing. I
was present and not in my head high as shit for once. Like I was present, paying attention,
trying to enjoy the ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're intentionally present and shit still goes wrong, it's like, what the F? I've got my force field on. What's happening? Why? And then I thought about all I do at those times, and it's kind of what we have to do is, all right, well, why? There's got to be a good reason for this. And it's like, well, something was going to happen later. I would have pushed it too far. You know what I mean? Like something. And I don't know. So whatever. I don't. When I was a kid, it would have like wrecked me for weeks, months, whatever. As an adult, I kind of realize that life sometimes holds you back is the wrong way to say it. But like, have you ever hit that red light that saved you from something really bad right after it? A truck running the red light, or it's something, anything where you're like, wow, I thought that sucked, and it actually really was good for me. I'm a believer in that stuff these days.
TV show that went along those lines of like everything's positive, whatever.
If you let it be, it depends on how you address it and react to it. Some stuff isn't even about you. It's like just about making sure you don't get caught up in some other stuff or whatever. It's kind of a hippy-dippy way to think, but I believe it.
There's
Jim and Jim, sorry it was so long and cluttered. Ugh, I'm so disheartened about it. I genuinely feel better. I think I was stressed out to tell you guys because I was so like... Here's the part we didn't tell. This is, again, the part of us and our lives and where you're like, there is no filter between real and fake anymore. Like TV us is real us. You're getting the real thing. We got very emotional on that ride between leaving David and getting to Scientific. At one point, I was almost crying. At one point, she was almost crying. And it was like the emotional roller coaster of that car is more than just a car to us. And I don't mean like, we love it so much. You don't understand. My dog is like my baby. Yeah, totally. But also, it's my wife's legs. It's her mobility. It's what allows her to still experience like the freedom of mobility in life. We drive with the windows down all the time so that she experiences that movement, you know? We don't get it. She doesn't get it otherwise. It's more than just a car. It's your favorite sweater that you put on to get in a good mood, you know?
Yeah.
So there was a whole crazy emotional side to the story that I think I was, and I felt really bad because at the end of the day I'm the one responsible, right? You know what I mean? Like it was me. I hit something on the crest. You know what I mean? I can blame the rock. Oh, it wasn't there, then it was. But at the end of the day, I hit the deer. I had the accident, whatever it happens to be. And I just felt such a, like, I really let her down. I felt like I really let you down. And I know I told you that, like, during that emotional drive. And I do. I feel like I let her down. I feel like I let TLG down. I feel like I let you guys down. Just the whole thing. And I know I didn't. I know that all this does is add to the story and make it better and more triumphant at the end.
I told you then, and I feel it even more now, is after our 2-hour drive to get to, like, it's all an adventure. If you look at it, if you let yourself look at it that way, like there's sucky parts.
Right, the
no
money
doubt.
will come back from whatever, somehow, somewhere.
But it's an adventure, and that's why a lot of us have these cars. Like, is to do things like that. You never know what it's gonna look like.
Right.
So
we didn't get
go
hurt.
with it.
Nobody else got hurt.
Totally.
Property barely damaged, hopefully, you know. Yeah. And
It
is
can
an
all be
adventure.
fixed. It's all,
Part of the story.
yeah, it's a good story.
Thanks for being so awesome. Thank you for being so awesome. Thank you for being so awesome. Thank you for being so awesome. Damian Dorian Dammit says, I once hit a rock in a cornfield on a dirt bike and became Superman. Oh, so the bike stopped? Much prefer the four wheels for Evil Rock meets tire. Yeah, big time. Yeah, if you hit something like that in your front wheel. Did you Pac-Man your wheel as well? Almost threw my glasses at you. That would've been crazy. Yeah, I can't even imagine. Did you break anything, or were you able to roll? Because wrists and shoulders on that one. Elbows too, I guess, but wrists and shoulders usually. Dirt bikes are the funnest. There's so much fun on dirt bikes. Don't worry, I'm not going to do it. I'm too old and fragile these days. I don't think I could do what I've told him, you know, wrists and shoulders. I mean, dead. What is the Norm Macdonald joke, right? It's like there are two categories of cliff diving, grand champion, and stuff on a rock. The wheel crashed, and yeah, I rolled. Oh, good for you. The unsinkable Ryans. Oh, Alpha 952. Thanks, you guys. Oh, it feels like somebody has pulled the damn plug, that's for sure. So we are fighting it lately. Life has gotten harder lately, and we're figuring out ways to make it not that way. The truth is, this is a great catch-up show for everybody. And if you have any questions or things, please chime in, because, I mean, really. There be so much behind the scenes stuff going on, growth, expansion stuff going on that we will be able to share soon that we just can't talk about yet. mistakes we've made in the past. Let's talk about it and blow it before it happens. Right, totally. Not doing that anymore. So there is like all sorts of really cool, fun stuff that will be great for all of this, and not just this, although this as well, which is great for us. It does solve those other problems I was talking about. But as far as for you, the audience, the viewers, the listeners, to make everything kind of like better, like really like better for everybody. And we'll be able to share some of that stuff soon. I know it, but I think there's all of that growth and expansion, which because there isn't a lot of, we haven't done any kind of like crowdfunding, crowdsourcing, whatever that's called. Not crowdfunding. Yeah, fundraising. Crowdsourcing is not right, is it? Crowdfunding, fundraising, crowdfunding.
I've heard both.
All that. Because we haven't done any of that stuff, like, it's all about logistics to make everything work, because everything is like, here's a dated reference for the kids at home. Anybody remember the Ed Sullivan Show with the plate spinners? You know, you got all the things and the guys running around. It was a bunch of sticks, right? It's kind of like our studio. Everything's on these sticks. And it takes a guy to run around and spin these plates on him, right? And he's spinning them with other sticks, and he's going around. He's got 10 of them. He's running around the stage to keep them going. Because the moment one crashes, they all crash, right? It just feels like I've become a professional plate spinner on the dated Ed Sullivan Show. And I know that this act is going to do it. Hey, Zwart, good to see you, sir. Hope to see you in person soon. You've been putting out amazing stuff. The peak to peak, I don't know how you're supposed to say that. The peak to peak, whatever. The awesome. It's fantastic. Please keep it up. We all love following you. I don't remember what I was saying with the rest. I guess none of it matters, but it's been a stressful damn time, and it doesn't show any sense of letting up. And once all, like, this will all be, they're like buds on a tree. Like, they're all going to bloom. But which one goes first, and will it be financial attachment? You know, there's a lot of things. So, yeah, we are unsinkable. It's getting more difficult, but I also feel like we are adding buoyancy. So there's that as well. You know what I mean? There's that as well. Skip Plus says, I hit a pothole on the approach of the Sikorsky Bridge. No! And split a wheel on my Focus once. Oh. Okay, Skip Plus, we'll tell everybody else what the Sikorsky Bridge is. I will. But while I do that, please let me know here, was it before or after they rebuilt it? Because when I was a kid, we've talked about this on the show before, but the Sikorsky Bridge, is it the Merritt or 95? It's the Merritt, I think, right? It's going over the Connecticut River, I believe. No, whatever. It's going over a river, and the Sikorsky helicopter plant is below it, like where they make the president's helicopter and all of the military Sikorsky helicopters. This bridge, it wasn't paved. It didn't even have, when you looked out the window, my childhood, you could see the river below. It's all graded like storm drains. The whole thing was. So imagine that in the wet and the cold.
Nope.
This is New England. It freezes.
It's cold.
So there were accidents on it all the time. If you just drove on it in the perfect, most awesome summer weather in your brand new Michelin tires, like whatever, everything was perfect conditions you could possibly imagine, the car would do this. Both lanes. It was 2 lanes each direction.
It's awful.
Oh my God, it was ridiculous. This is where I learned to drive. Fantastic. So hitting a pothole on the approach of the Sikorsky Bridge and split a wheel on my Focus once. Best what-if moment was when I was driving my 68 Volkswagen Squareback through the fields of the old RCA property off the 123 in New Canaan, like I was in the freaking Africa Corps, and then realized a Sikorsky Merritt, and after the redo. Oh, okay, after the redo, so that none of that stuff anyway, it's just paved now.
Anything with a bridge terrifies me.
And realized a couple months later that I'd driven through a stone wall exactly where a squareback size hole in the wall. This is amazing. Used to be. Was. A couple months later that I'd driven through a stone wall exactly where a square back-sized hole in the stone wall was. That's crazy. That's like cartoon stuff, right? You know, like Roger Rabbit through the window and leaves the impression of the rabbit. In the window. Oh, boy. It's been a crazy few days. I really feel better having told you. It was like telling your parents you dented the car. It really was, telling everybody, oh, we left you here. Everyone expected for me to come back like, it's amazing. It's the best ever. So we're wearing our shirts for TLG over there. Marco, Armando, Steve, thank you. We're coming back, obviously. Yeah, as you recall, the whole thing wasn't done anyway. We were still going to do, and this is the only part that, like, it's kind of okay because theoretically it was going to have to go get on the alignment rack again when the BBI parts came in anyway. And we were like, oh, it's a shame to do the alignment twice. And it's like, well, now it sure makes sense. And hopefully we didn't break any new parts, you know, hopefully. I'm hoping just the alignment's out of whack, if anything. I'm hoping it's just the arrow underneath, and then maybe we can replace that and, you know. Oh, for goodness sake. That's where we are in the saga. But it was supposed to be all, it's perfect. So Auto Kennel and Raiden Motors. Will on camera 3. Let's start right there. Thank you, Will on camera 3, for the ride and the anecdotes. We always have great conversations. He drove down to Auto Kennel to pick me up because I was dropping off the 951. I'm so disheartened about all of this. It worked so perfectly. I was like, do you remember how much work went into finagling it? Now I wish I didn't do it because the car would have remained at TLG. We wouldn't have driven it on Friday. It would have been fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No good damn deed. Anyway, Will on camera 3. Thank you. The Ed. It was great to see you, and thank you. Obviously, my brother, Paul Kennel. Thank you. Anybody involved in this whole thing, thank you. I'm beside myself. As Marco says, Porsche problems, not so terrible. Amen, Teresa. You are so right about that. That's the truth. At the end of the day, it's like, all right, we have to sell everything we own and live in our car, but that car is yellow car. Like, oh, well, okay, okay. People have worse lives. That's the whole Porsche problem. Like, it's hard to complain about. Oh, you broke your Porsche again. Oh, you idiot.
Yeah. There's something.
That's why we can't have nice things.
Something I watch, I forget what, but he ends this tirade with, and my diamond shoes are too tight.
Right. That's very funny. And another thing, I'll tell you something else. It's so true. Oh, Faith, oh. Oh, Faith, oh. Faith in the middle of the O's, everybody. Oh, Faith, oh. Oh. What is that, OEO? Is it in like a boat?
Wizard of Oz.
It's in the Wizard of Oz?
Mm-hmm.
In what part? Who says that?
I think it's when the monkeys are flying.
Definitely not. I mean, maybe. I shouldn't say definitely not, because I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Someone's marching to
that sounds more like it.
Yeah.
Or workers in the background.
I'm
picturing people in a boat. You know, you know, like in a slave ship or something. That's because that's what I want to picture. Apparently, no, I mean like the Spielberg movie because they shot it in Connecticut, right, where all that stuff I was just talking about is. Amistad, not that. Okay.
No. No, it's in Wizard of Oz.
Okay. Somebody didn't know where. Oh yeah, Wizard of Oz, Oompa Loompas. See, now I thought Oompa Loompas as well, which is why I thought it might be. But that's their other song. Oompa Loompa, Oompa Dee Doo. I've got another puzzle for you. All that stuff. You didn't grow up with that movie, the Gene Wilder one. Gosh darn it, I love him so much. I loved him so much. I still love him so much. Fight on Blaster. Nicole's humor. Yes. Fight on Blaster. Fight on Blaster. Did we miss you the other day? I think, didn't you say you were going to go up to GVBC and you probably did, but the truth is we were so late. We probably just missed you. Yeah, no, Oompas are Willy Wonka. No, I know. I know. But that's my point. I can't remember any Oompa Loompa. I can't remember any like minority slave creature in Wizard of Oz. I remember it. Once you get to the guy, it's just the guy behind the curtain. But maybe there's a lot of people working for the guy. Yeah, who opens the door? In my mind, maybe they were Munchkins. I don't know.
There's a guy with green shoes that twirl.
I know. I didn't mean literally just that guy. I meant like all of the people.
I get really zoomed in. Sorry.
No. You're great. I'm the one who asked this question. You have the information. It's great. Thank you. Glad you all are safe. Hello from your Bakersfield family. Thank you, JJ. Is it JJ or Jamie? I can never remember because it's Jamie Tate. No, JJ. Yeah, JJ Gates. But Jamie Tate. Fight on Blast. You waved at me when I was coming down. Okay, I thought that was you. Good. Okay, awesome. And we were coming back up with the black wheel thanks to Scientific. Yeah. So and then obviously Jose and Jack, who is out sick, and but his team there at I forget his name, but his team there at. I'll say this: they're hiring over at Scientific. They're looking for experienced mechanics or the right person. If anybody is looking to either be a Porsche mechanic there or learn to be a Porsche mechanic. There were two guys there when we were there on Friday, and one guy there yesterday on Monday. One of them had quit, so I don't. I mean, it wasn't like quit. I'm out of here. I think like he, going on to do something else. Anyway, so they're hiring at Scientific. If you're an experienced Porsche mechanic, give them a call. Ask for Jose. And if you're not, but you really want to learn, like if you're young and just want to learn, like if you want to learn the trade and apprentice there, it's probably a good place for you. The Munchkins. So it was the Munchkins. Yeah, okay. In my mind, the Munchkins were over in Munchkinland, and then Oz was a different place. So I didn't think they were the Munchkins. I thought they were like, I was using that again. Apparently, I shouldn't speak so broadly. Everyone's very specific. I try not to say like as much because I can't stand when I do, but I guess perhaps sometimes it's necessary. Otherwise, people think you mean this. I should say like this, not this. I would love it if you all go up to ACH to have emergency supplies in your cars, at least water and snacks if you get stuck. You are awesome. Yeah. I mean, I'd love that too. I mean, we go up with donuts and coffee and waters. We come back with full souls. I don't know. You know what I mean? You come back and you're just on such a happy high just from being up there at the top of the rock. Chi-Town Cruisers just thought about it. But, oh, no. He almost didn't say anything. I almost blocked him. Sorry about that, Chi-Town. Thought about it, but too far from home. I missed it. Bavaria 911 is here. Hi, Ferrari Wrestling has joined. Ferrari Wrestling? Really? I don't know why. In my mind, I feel like they would be, I don't know what I feel like they would be. Why wouldn't those two things? I mean, I like cars and late night. I mean, why the hell? Cars and talk shows, cars and communicating. Cars and communication. We're starting a new thing. It's cars and communication. Can't wait to go on the ACH with you all one day. Can't wait for that either, man. Also, I'd like to acknowledge that Flat 6 Photographer has changed his name. It didn't used to be Flat 6 Photographer. Now it is. What do you think of that? It's true. Wasn't it James Cornish something? Isn't that your real name? I can't do it from here. I'd click on it and look, but if I did that here, look what happens. It's crazy in this shit. Oh, my God. Wheel repair. How did it go? Not well. There was no wheel to be repaired. The wheel is now on our patio as a sort of a next to our retired plant, thanks to retired plants. The wheel was beyond repair. Dented and cracked. You know that scene in Days of Thunder when they ask about Colt after the bad accident, the really bad one? They ask about Colt Trickle's helmet, and she's like, "Was the helmet cracked or scratched?" He's like, "Was it scratched? Was it the back, the front? Was it cracked or scratched?" Because I believe it was scratch on the back and the front. You know, it was like it was everything. It was whatever you don't want. We had that. James Cornish. Yeah, there you go. So he changed his name. Flat 6 photographer. Bavaria 911. It's currently just upright, but yeah, it'll be something. I don't know what. No, it won't be a flower pot. No, it won't be that. But it will be something. Most likely just a wheel is decor, but like, you know, with some other stuff or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I find that I go by feeling. It's not like, it goes here because that's what I designed. It's kind of like, I think it'll work here, but then you put it there and like live with it for a couple days and you're like, that's not where it goes. And then you like put it some other place and you kind of find, and then eventually, sometimes it's just on the first or second try, but sometimes it takes a couple. Something just feels right. You're like, oh, why didn't we try it there? Oh, because the chair was there, but now this is better than the chair, or whatever it happens to be. I don't know. Maybe we'll hang it on the wall. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Glad you're both safe. Got a ride home on my bike. I'll watch YouTube video later. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, Late, for biking. Thanks to everybody who reached out. I mean, everybody, from our friends from GVBC to frickin' Jensen Button going, at least it was just a tire and a rim. Yeah, I mean, thank God. Who knows? Whatever it is, it's minor because the car still drives and we're okay. Yeah, definitely. It's amazing. Grateful. It's a perspective for sure. Yeah, wall art, badge of honor, totally, something like that. It's still got the tire on it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of cool to us because it's one of our wheels. It's very specific. No center cap, Michelin white letter tires on it. You know, like it's very specific. So it kind of is. We both talked about this. It's kind of, this is where we are a little freaking weird. It's kind of cool to have a little bit of yellow car in the place with us.
Yeah.
You know, Pinstripe Chris has a live work loft type situation where like he parks his cars in his house in the space where they live and sleep. And something so cool about that to me. Like I don't want to sleep next to the car, but having a living room where like, oh, the TV and the couch and the dining room table and all that's in one place, and then you just drive through the garage over here, like, yeah, I'm in. That's so cool.
For some reason, this whole thing feels like Cars, the movie to me a little bit, and I love that. So it's...
What whole thing does? Because obviously our car is sort of modeled after a non...
For some reason, the tire...
Having it in the house.
Yeah, and being around that energy of it. I'm heady, but...
No, that makes me happy. It means you're buying into all this stuff. Michelin will get you home. Yeah, totally. Totally did. Bohannes Rain. Hello, Bohannes. I know I'm not saying that right. It's probably Bojan. Bojan Rain. Mm-hmm. Johan Rain. Johaz. Well, how you doing, fella? Or if it's Bohana, how you doing, miss? I can't click on to see if that picture... And, of course, I covered the face further with a waving hand. Oh, well. Better to take a boulder hit than swerve over the edge. Yeah. Well, that's another good point. So, now how about that? Maybe had I seen it, I may have tried to avoid it. And who knows? Maybe something bad. Maybe something worse. So, I don't know. Whatever. Poor David is the same thing. His was not just a tire. He needs a wheel as well. And see from there. As long as neither one of us blew shocks and stuff, like, we're okay. You know, as long as that brand new Bilstein with 20 miles on it on the fucking suspension, as long as that's still okay.
This whole thing just tells me how good of drivers both of you are. Like, that's impressive to me.
Oh, thanks. Because we weren't ripping, but we weren't going slow either.
No, and like... I'm apparently was a really bad driver. Like, you maintained such stoic control of the whole thing. Like, that's a big deal.
Oh, thanks. I'll take it. I do get very common crisis. I don't know why. You know what I mean? When everyone else is freaking out, I'm like, finally I can. They're all at a different frequency. I can operate. I hit a boulder on Decker, had to get new under panel. Yeah, that's what I think we have to do, a new under panel. But ours is just plastic. Yours, I don't know what yours is. Plastic? I don't know. Fiberglass? Metal? Fur? I don't know. What could it be? Wood? A lot of cars have wood in the old days. That's a weird one. That rots right through. Don't need to tell you. I should tell you about St. Clair Insurance. They're coming into town, everybody, for the Cars in the Canyon Car Show this weekend. If you are going to the Cars in Canyon, stop by the St. Clair booth and say hello to Jeff St. Clair. And go check out. I don't know if he can do. He can't like look that stuff up right then and there, but he probably gives you some information and then pen and stuff like that. But anyway, they say all that separates men and boys is the coverage for their toys. Stickers. He's got stickers for sure. They look like the sign that they have on the building across the street there. There's a new one on Yellow Car. You'll see it when you see Yellow Car soon. They say all that separates men and boys is the coverage for their toys. In this case, we're not even talking about the collector cars. We're talking about the coverage for those collector cars, everybody. Call up Jeff St. Clair or go see him in person. Check out St. Clair Insurance because St. Clair Insurance shops top providers so you get the best coverage. Go to coverageforyourtoys.com, coverageforyourtoys.com,
coverageforyourtoys.com,
and tell them Jay, Ryan, and Nicole sent you. You saw it on Late Night Playset or Live at 5 or whatever this show should be called. I think we should call it the TV Fun Podcast, personally. I don't know. If this were to get morphed into something else, everybody, I'm not saying go away. I mean go away in its current form, but be something else. What should it be called? Maybe we'll do that. Maybe it'll be a contest. Name this show. Because we are coming up to a point where some decisions could be made. I heard things. Decisions will be made. I mean, what the hell? We're all just glad that you made it back up because GBBC wouldn't be the same without its honorary host. Oh, you're so sweet, you guys. Thank you. We know you mean her. It's okay. Car Talk with J&N says, Fight on Blaster. Thanks, Fight on Blaster. It's interesting, too, because in other people's submissions, a show about nothing. See, that's what it really is. It's interesting. The submissions will see, I think, what other people want the show to be or what they see the show as.
Yeah. It's a good litmus test.
Because it is a car talk. Here's what I came to earlier today, totally by accident. I discovered, while thinking about all of this and the bigger picture and where we're going and where we'll be able to take other people in the future, what this is, and this is weird and bizarre, but it's a show within a show. Even the set says it and shows it. It's like this weird, they've set up David Letterman's stuff, and there's clearly something there, but that's not the show they're doing, which was Spike Feresten's point when he did the show, maybe even the first time he did the show, not even the second time. He was like, but why aren't you doing that show or one of those shows? He was like, you could do one of those shows. And I was like, we don't know what we're doing. And the truth is, I'm just following that intuition, and sometimes you don't know where it's going, but you kind of have to follow it. Otherwise, you feel like you're cheating yourself later on. I don't have an answer, but it is. It's a show within a show. Do you know what I'm saying? Dave was always doing the Steve Allen Tonight show. Tonight, whatever the Steve Allen show, his Westinghouse show. He was always doing the Steve Allen Westinghouse show. But it looked, different because it was Dave doing it and whatever the... And we're not doing a Dave show. Then tonight's top 10, everybody. Anton, you know what I mean? Like I don't do any of the freaking here. I'm going to do it just now for example, but we don't. It's not our. If we started doing that, then I'm losing who we are that way. Then we're not ourselves that way. So whatever this show is, I don't know, but it definitely looks like. It's hilarious. That's why I said it's the TV Fun Podcast, because people come here. Danny the other day when he was here, he was like, "No, you can't explain this to anybody. You gotta be here. You got." Danny, I'm sorry, I'm not doing an impression of you. I'm just sort of a mimic, and I'm playing it back in my head, and this is how it sounded. But he's like, "You can't explain this to anybody. You gotta come see it. You gotta be here in person. It doesn't make sense." And it is. We're doing TV fun. We're doing so much TV fun that we can't even show it all to you. You don't really get it. When I turn the bubbles on, it's so ridiculous in here. Like, yeah, you get to see it, But somehow you're also not really seeing it because how could you? You don't. I mean, at your house in your dining room, can you push a button on the table where bubbles will then fall from the sky magically? Like, it doesn't make sense. There's so much TV fun going on. Speaking of which, I'll show you some more by telling you about, here it is, yep. I don't want to do it every time, and I'm like, nope, not that one. And I'm like, there's only 2 cards. It's got to be that one. This is Jay Ryan from Late Night Playset. Here, let me get everybody back here. There we go. This is Jay Ryan and Nicole. How about this? I'll drag you into this. We are Jay and Nicole from Late Night Playset, reminding you to please like, subscribe, and comment below. This feeds the internet algorithm and eventually us as well. Don't you want to feed her? She's getting skinny. Be a pal, like, subscribe, and comment below. It'll be fire. Look at the fire. Woo! Also, it turns out, if you listen to us on the Apple podcast, if you could leave a, what do you call it? Not a description. I think we're supposed to leave the description. Leave a review or something. Leave a comment. It was too much. I pushed it too long. Can you guys see? This is crazy. Whoa! Oh, the air's off too. Oh my God. This is too much. This is too much.
Stagnant.
Can you guys see?
Whiteness.
It's too much. All right. Anyway, the fire and whatever else. I don't know. Good grief. Oh, yeah, I got to tell you about this. This was amazing. And I should have done this at the top of the show, and I'm sorry I forgot. Crucible, you win. 111 for life with Jay and Nicole. Wow, that's a great idea. NC Noel says, life with the Ryans. You son of a... Now, is he saying that as a joke or not? Because I bet it's not, because he only found us in the last year or so, like since COVID. So I bet it's not a joke. Here, how's this? Look at what I still have. Here, let me give you some volume here, and I will show you what I still have loaded in here. Yeah, that is from the early days when that was indeed the name of this show. And I don't imagine you would know that. We can, Carissable, we can totally keep the name. We absolutely can. We're just we will soon be at a place where we could change the name if that made sense to do. From like a public perception standpoint. It really has nothing... That worked terribly. Oh, I threw the card. Okay, there we go. Just getting some air moving here. Yeah, no, we could keep it exactly the same. But we're coming to a place where, like, if we wanted to change some things, now would be the time to do it, kind of a deal. If there is such a thing, and I hope I didn't just do what I think I did, but I did, and whatever. There it is. The other day, a friend of ours who's been on the show, who lives in Hawaii by the name of Gunnar Mensch, was, he's an awesome Porsche guy. He's the head of the Porsche chapter there on the Big Island and everything. He's just a great guy. He also happens to have grown up in the town next to the town that I grew up in. He grew up in Ridgefield, Connecticut, coincidentally where Ridgefield BMW of the East Coast Feed is. He lives in Hawaii now and has a beautiful gallery and a beautiful wife and a beautiful life, and he's just a spectacular, beautiful person. And the other day, he showed a picture of cookie dough that he had made up to make cookies with, and it was just looked so good. He had a whole story about it, which I'd heard before, about how his dad had once stopped at the Toll House Hotel, Motel, Roadside Inn, whatever it was called, where the recipe for Toll House cookies came from, that eventually became the Nestle Toll House cookie. Anyway, apparently the original from this place Toll House recipe is slightly different than the one that's written on the yellow bag that we've all grown up with and know. So I jokingly just said, screw, don't even bake them, just send us the dough, because like we're gross, like we totally are like the type of people who were like, if there's a movie instead of a snack or something, I'll just have a little bit of cookie. Like I haven't done this in years, so I shouldn't say we're that type of people anymore, but we can get gross. How's that? We can be pretty gross. Anyway, I never expected anything because it was a joke. And then Gunnar sent the other day in this box like They arrived all broken and everything, but they were so delicious. Like, I don't know, 5 or 6 homemade chocolate chip cookies
Those
from
were
Hawaii.
So good.
So we made a point to order not really any Hawaiian food that we like around here, but we ordered Chinese food and got some spam and egg fried rice and some stuff. And then, Gunnar, we had your cookies for dessert. And it was just so sweet and awesome. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to know you. I'm grateful to have you as a friend. And it really, really touched us that you did that. It's stupid. I know it's stupid. Sending baked goods in the mail. It's the old school stuff that our grandparents used to do. That people don't do anymore that means something. If he sent us a fanciful whatever those gift baskets, you know, the giant thing, the muffin things with all that stuff. If he sent us one of those, it would be very appreciated. It's so sweet, but it's not the same as 5 or 6 broken chocolate chip cookies that he made himself and sent from Hawaii.
Thoughtful, like love being sent.
Aloha nui loa from our hearts to yours. Seriously, love it, love it, love it. Is Tommy Chong in the house? Yeah, that was crazy. It looks like Up in Smoke. Not a joke. Oh, not a joke. Isn't that funny? Well, you saw the thing now. Wave, Chris has a camera. Classic cats. Classic, son of a... Prost 89 is here. Beers for Fears. I send my mom Christmas cookies to Colorado every year. Amazing.
Nice.
Can we get on that list? My mom used to do that. Funny, all the non-mom things we used to talk about, she used to, like, her gift to, like, all the people at work or whatever every year was she would make, like, bourbon balls or, like, some weird, like, Christmas cookie, you know, whatever it was. She would do the same thing and then put them all in tins, and then they would all go out.
My mom did that.
Oh, so maybe that was a thing of the time.
I think there was a thing for their generation before everyone would panic that there was something in something, like, and then...
Right.
Stop.
This was when you could try. Well, that's what Jay Leno was saying when he was here. It was like whenever somebody would send meatballs to the show, he was like, "Oh, great!" And we're like, "Oh, what are you crazy?" And he's like, what are you gonna do? You know? Huh. That's a good point. I forgot about that. The whole Halloween when I was a kid. There's razor blades in the Snickers. Like, fucking whatever. No razor blades in the Snickers. I mean, I bet there was one time or whatever, but like, this is a thing that people are doing. You mean one guy did it one place, and now we all got to fear-mongering. Fear-mongering. The mainstream media. It's time to talk. Speaking of selling stuff, it's time to talk about Dual Shift. Our friends over at Dual Shift. A reminder, Dual Shift is our buddy Guards Rad. It's his company. It's an apparel company. It's a lifestyle brand company, I guess. But how it is affiliated with us is they do all of the GVPC merch. So stuff like this, which I wear all the time because the moment it came out, he did it so well. He nailed it, the cut, the fit, all the material. It became my immediate favorite T-shirt, so I wear it all the time. Mine's actually gotten quite gray. I'm noticing this one in the studio is black. Mine's totally gray just from age, so I might need a fresh one.
I love it so much.
I'll keep wearing it, but I might need a fresh one.
Specifically, don't wear it out because I love it.
Oh, well, I think we can get another one someplace.
Probably, but I go through... I wear things hard, just like everything. I do.
You're hard on things.
Yeah. Thank you for being succinct.
Darvel, 84. Andrew J. Donnelly. Ted Theologian. The traditions. Yeah, the traditions. What are we without traditions? That's where I am. I'm a creature of habit. I am a creature of nostalgia. What are we without traditions? Like, I'm the person who, like, despite whatever you think, we are not rich. Sometimes I go on other people's podcasts and they call me a Porsche collector and stuff like that. Our troubles aren't your troubles, but we are not rich, okay? So I look forward to one day being very successful at all of this stuff and having a lot of money, but not so that we can live extravagantly, because I want to make other people happy, have all those traditions. I want to do all those things. I want to make, you know what I mean? Like all the things that we don't do right now, just because like our lifestyle doesn't really. Remember back in the days when there was a time when we weren't rich by any means, but we had a lot of money flowing with our old company, just the entertainment industry and stuff. It all went out as fast as it went in, but we it was all about gift baskets and thank you cards and like thank you cards anybody could do, but you know what I mean? Like it was about gifts and making sure that the bottles of wine got to the right people after the right things, and muffin baskets. What's the other ones that I can't stand, but they were the biggest rage in the world? The cupcakes with the dot on them. Sprinkles. Fuck. You know how expensive 4 Sprinkles cupcakes were delivered to somebody's office? It was like $126.
It's so expensive.
for a couple cupcakes.
We got all that stuff, and I did PR because it was in the marketing of it to give it to people that talked a lot.
Yeah.
So we had something confectionery every day.
Good night, Skip. We're signing off here too in just a second. I guess my point, what I wanted to say with that was like, we were so good with showing the gratitude with physical stuff in the old days when we didn't even really understand what real gratitude was. Nowadays, because of life and experience and age and whatever, maturity, we have a bit of perspective, and now so many people have helped us out in life. We're like, oh, I want to show you more gratitude than I even can right now, and I know you feel it, and I know you love me back and everything, but like I want to be a success for stuff like that. That was my problem. I always gave it away. I'm the worst at that. Anyway, in the future looks very bright. We are very excited about the future. We've got to get through the present, but the future is very, very bright, and I'm so excited to be there with this amazing group of people who are with us along the journey. All of you who watch here and there and listen on podcasts. Thank you. Also, sorry about the ad. You're hearing an Anchor ad before the show on the podcast now. It may go away in time. Right now, I don't know. We may be on Spotify soon with a video podcast. That's all something that's happening in the behind the scenes too. It's too soon to tell. We are on a trial beta thing with them in the background where we're trying to. All sorts of things may be happening, but again, too soon to say are real. But thank you to everybody. Sorry about the Anchor ad. I think that's it, right? Are you a regifter? Yeah, I'm a total regifter. Absolutely. If it's something, well, hang on. Like, have I used it? Instead? Like, no. I mean, but if it's something that somebody gives me that, like, you know how many people give us T-shirts and hats and stuff? It would be impossible to keep all of those, but the whole point of the people is to have these hats worn. And so, like, a lot of times I'll wear a T-shirt or a hat someplace publicly, like once or whatever, and then it'll go to, like, the giveaway pile or whatever. And I don't mean, like, donations to, like, Goodwill. I mean, like, my mother and her car club in Florida or something like that, you know? So stuff like that, you know? Fight on Blaster. Oh, you're so sweet. You are so sweet. Thank you. And we have to get you somebody to help you with your runs and your drives. She reached out to me saying, "Hey, I want to talk to you. Let's get on the phone about you hosting some group drives." I was like, "No." I was like, "You don't know me at all." But I told her, I was like, "Come up to GVBC because there are plenty of people up there that would frickin' love it." Yes, please. Yes. You're so awesome. So whatever. So we'll get her somebody. For that. Good night, guys. Good night, John Boy. That's it. I love you. We love you. We're back on Thursday. See you there. I can't remember what's going on. Maybe nothing again. I can't remember because life's been crazy. But we will definitely be here with you. And we will be grateful to see you back again on Thursday. Have a great night. So weird. You got to work on your goodbyes. I know. Love you.